Well, hi guys, welcome back, and if you're new, I'm glad that you're here because today I created these beautiful fall centerpieces using Dollar Tree items and also some leftover items from a previous DIYs. And I did a traditional one and then I also did a non-traditional one, and I really had a great time creating both of them. I want you guys to let me know which one you like the best. I love both of them. And you guys know I love feathers, so I had to do one with feathers. So we're actually going to get into how I created these. What you're going to need is some pumpkin wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. Also, you're going to be using 2 for each of these DIYs, some nautical rope and yarn, and some bases. I'm not sure if I'm going to use 1 or 2, but we'll get into that later. Some Mod Podge and glitter. I got some glitter that would be fall. I love the way they look. A glue gun and glue sticks, and some ribbon from the Dollar Tree. This one is a new one I just picked up, and then the other one is one from last year. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that one. And also this pretty leaf fall foil. It's so pretty. I'm gonna probably use the orange side and a luminar that I had sitting around, and also a sponge brush, some scissors or floral shears, and last but not least, these pretty florals from the Dollar Tree. I got all different kinds. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of them, but we'll see. Now, I was trying to figure out if I was going to actually use one of these for the base or both, but I wasn't sure, so I think I'm going to go with one. So I basically mixed the Mod Podge with the glitter, and I'm just going to put that on the base. I don't have to because it's going to be covered up, but I didn't want it to peek out, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply that, put it to the side, let it dry, and we'll get to that later. Now we're going to just take these 2 pieces and join them together. As you can see, I'm using floral wire, and this is what it will look like when it's done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start taking that nautical rope and wrapping it around each one of these for this pumpkin wreath. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of hot glue, but I'm also going to take the floral wire just to make sure that it stays in place. I don't want it to move because I'm going to be wrapping this pretty tight to give it the look that I want. Now once you get it secure, you're going to go ahead and start wrapping it by pulling it through to the other side, and you're going to keep repeating that process. Now it seems a little tedious and time consuming, but once you get the hang of it, it starts to go faster, and by the end of it you're zipping through it. And once you get it through a few times, you're just going to pull it down and tighten it up. And that's what it'll look like, and it's pretty awesome. So now that you can see, I'm almost done with the first one, but I wanted to show you what it looks like, and we're going to continue that process all the way around. However, I want to show you what you do when you get to the very top. When you get to the top, if you're going to go down this side to the right, you're just going to loop it that way and then continue to tighten it up and bring it through. I decided to go the opposite way, so as you can see, I made sure there's no room at the top, and then I'm pulling it over, and now I'm going to go ahead and pull it through and just make sure that it's tight, so that way you're not seeing any of the actual reform. And that's that simple. Now this is what it will look like when it's done, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Yes, you can see the base. That's all you need. You're not really going to see it, but I just wanted to make it seamless, like I said. Now it has some weight to it, so all I have to do is just apply a little hot glue and it will stay in place. Now we can start adding our florals. Now I'm taking my picks from the Dollar Tree. I like to just separate them like this and then squeeze the middle together and just place them in. That way I'm not hot gluing them. You can, that's optional. I just like being very frugal and reusing all of my supplies. So that's why I'm doing this, but this is optional. You don't have to do that. And we're just going to add in all of our florals.
When I blame you for the things that weigh me down, 'cause in the echo of your silence I only hear what's best for me. Yeah, in the echo of your silence I'm thinking more of her. She who wants to study your body, who gets the better version of you. I need the better truth. I need the better
Now that we've got all the florals placed in, I'm going to take that luminar and that pretty foil with the maple leaf on it from the Dollar Tree and just easily wrap that and put that in the center. I'm also going to take this pretty maple garland and I'm going to tuck that in there first and then put the actual luminar inside of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this bow that I basically made off camera. I'm horrible at bows, but this is the way it looks and I absolutely love it, with these pretty fall traditional colors that just invokes warmth, and I absolutely love it. I also went ahead and I styled it with this large lantern with an extra large luminar in it with some more florals from the Dollar Tree, but I love the way it looks. I went ahead and pulled out one of those picks so it doesn't look too crowded, but it absolutely love it. So this is the other one that's non-traditional. I'm going to be using 2 of these wreath forms again, and I painted one. Also some floral shears, scissors, and floral wire. Some of this boa, this is a feather boa from the Dollar Tree, a glue stick and glue guns. Some of this pretty crystal rhinestone that I previously got from free from BB Craft. I'm going to be wrapping that. Also some of these really pretty velvet pumpkins from the Dollar Tree this year. I'm sure everybody saw those. Also Mod Podge and glitter and a sponge brush. Some a base, a clear glass base for a candle, and some of those old feathers. Now we're just going to go ahead and apply the actual Mod Podge to just the stem for the white ones and a little bit on the outside also. Put the blue glitter on the white and the silver glitter on the blue. And then we're going to go ahead and start putting on this crystal rhinestone. All you have to do is apply hot glue and then apply it, and this is what it'll look like when it's done. Just clean up the glue as you go along. And that's basically it. I went ahead and I taped together the base to the pumpkin wreath form because you're not going to see it. As you can see, I'm wrapping it with the feather boa from the Dollar Tree, and that's why I didn't care about the way it looked. Oh boy. Now we're going to go ahead and take the rest of that feather boa and we're going to go ahead and wrap that on the perimeter, which is why I did not put the crystal rhinestone on the very ends because you're not going to see it anyway. We're going to go ahead and take some of that floral wire rather, and we're going to apply it to the bottom and just tie it on. Then we're going to repeat that every 4 to 5 inches going around the perimeter of the pumpkin wreath form. So once we get that done, we're going to go ahead and start adding in our feathers, and this is the good part. I didn't show when I actually put the wreath form together because you had saw that process previously with the other wreath. Now with the feathers, I'm just going to thread those through and get them and position them where I want them to go, and I'm going to go ahead and add some hot glue. And the black feathers that you see in the background, I'm going to do the same process and then trim the extra on the ends, and you can see it in the back. Now we're just going to take those pumpkins and we're going to pop those through. It doesn't matter, we're going to arrange them later. I wanted the blue one in the middle of the white one, so I'm just going to take that and put that in the middle and just position them where I want them to go. I'm also going to add a little bit more feathers in there to give it more of a nesting look, to make it look cozier and more full, and that's what I'm going to be doing with some of this leftover trim. So once I get them where I want them to go, I'm going to go ahead and glue those in place, because if not, they're going to be moving around too much. Last but not least, I have a bow I'm going to be attaching, and I'm also going to be adding some of that feather trim that I trimmed off earlier, just to give it a fuller, more seamless look. Now with the other pumpkin, I'm going to go back and do something different with that. I'm going to take that glass candle holder and that pumpkin, and I'm going to trim it with this pretty crystal rhinestone trim. And I'm just going to do this really simple by adding a dab of the hot glue under the pumpkin stem, taking it, threading it through, and then putting another dab on the bottom. And it seems simple and easy, and it is, but it's going to be a big impact. And I'm not going to add anything to the glass candle holder base because I love the negative space and the way it'll make this pop. So they're just going to repeat that process and put as many as you like. I just basically did it in each groove, and that's basically it. Then what we're going to do when we get this all done, we're just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the top of the base, clean it up, and apply the pumpkin. And it's adorable and it fits perfect. And this is the way I styled this one. I also added a couple of little things like the lantern and another candle holder, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So you guys let me know which one you like best. Do you like the traditional one or do you like the non-traditional one? I would love to see your comments. And in the meantime, don't forget to like this and give it a thumbs up because it helps our videos out so much. You guys stay safe, stay well, keep your head up, and I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.